Water, water, water. I need some water. It is time, everyone. It is time. I have made this animation before. What video did you get? What video did you get? Oh, you mean COVID? Okay, you mean COVID, not a video. Not the video. Mean COVID. Well, that's the worst. That's the worst that can happen, since my father has died to COVID. Everybody actually assumed that he would just recover, me included, but then it all went downhill and he passed away. So that was very, very unfortunate. So I am hoping everything will be okay with you and that you will go through the delicate version of the symptoms. Shall we wait for some more people to join us? Oh, it was like at the end of 2020. It was quite sudden, you know? Especially since Father used his social media to tell everybody to wear masks and wait for the vaccination. Yeesh. So we have a special topic today. You know what you know what I have to do, right? Might as well go balls to the wall with the whole experimenting with the voice, since, you know, I cannot win. Whatever kind of voice I try, I get lambasted for it. So, you know. Falsetto voice, I get lambasted. This sort of voice, I get lambasted. So I might as well just not care. You know? Thank you, Butterwagon. Thank you so much for being a nice giggler. So, sort of to give you context, yesterday... Oh, thank you, Mecha Bounce Bunny. Well, it came to my attention yesterday during a live stream that my voice makes a lot of people's ears bleed, and that I have a wacky accent, and so I better do the more... Hello, fan of Xander Hall. I actually hoping you'll stay here and that you will maybe consider subscribing. I'm actually hoping to do a thing together with Xander Hall, you know? I've been able to talk to Cherry, and I would like to do some nice cooperation with Xander Hall regarding me streaming the Potter game for charity. We're about to find out who said that, because there's a whole... You might be familiar with a content creator called Chud Logic. I've covered some of his videos, and then Chud Logic did a video about me. He even wrote a comment under my video telling me he would like to talk to me. So I wrote him back, and then he went silent. And just yesterday, he did a new segment about me. And we will check it out right now. Right? We will check it out right now. Full disclosure, I have already watched it once. It's very short. And I have taken some notes. We're gonna look at it again together with my notes in mind. I'm gonna give my thoughts, and we're gonna have a grand time reacting to the Marxist leftist Chud Logic, a good progressive friend of this channel, Chud Logic. Yeah, pre-watcher. At least I admit when I do it, okay? I don't pretend that I don't pre-watch when I don't. I've actually seen, okay, I've actually seen the, who? Oxorn? Who is Oxorn? That's Chud Logic. It's Chud Logic. I've actually seen Chud Logic talk about me live because I've caught Chud Logic live. I've been lurking in his audience, and then suddenly he started talking about me right as I've started watching. True. Okay. So I've got a little bit of a... I've got some notes here regarding Chud Logic. First, before we start, yeah, I'd actually like to start from showing you a little bit of a thing, okay? A clip from the past. A Fallout content creator. I actually should play. Would you like to see me play Fallout on stream? That's a real question for you. Okay, let's start from this clip to give you some context, okay? This clip should give you some context into what we will be talking about.
Well, hopefully, well, I mean, they're probably going to respond to me talking about them.
There you go. Here I am responding.
It's like, well, let's talk on stream. That's going to be the best.
True.
The best solution.
True. Let's talk on stream. This is going to be the best solution to the problems of the universe. So, basically, Chud Logic has predicted correctly that I would do a response video to him. I have made a response video. And then he said, after that, it's just best for us to talk on stream because nothing else makes much sense. So I guess Chud Logic has changed his mind about that and has decided to do a whole thing about me on his stream. I mean, I could play Fallout 76 with the viewers. I've heard that it has gotten a lot better than it was. Yeah, we can. But I was thinking of playing Fallout 1 and 2 first. The old ones. Okay. Now that we've got this... We've got this context. Let's get into the thing that Chud Logic did about me yesterday, okay? This won't be super long, but you know, I've got my notes, I've got my wits. Let's go.
Is this Lucy Hayes person?
Yeah, it's me. I am the Lucy Haza person. Everybody reads my surname incorrectly. Only a few people read my surname correctly. It's actually Lucy Haza, not Lucy Hayes. But I guess it's forgivable for English speakers to sort of default to Lucy Hayes. Okay, let's go.
Lucy.
Yes, Chud Logic is now just looking through Demon Mama's chat to check out what I'm writing in there. Like, this is a bit weird. I do find myself a bit weirded out by the fact that Chud Logic is reading what I'm writing in Demon Mama's chat, but you know, I guess this is what passes for content for Chud Logic these days.
Is the edgy duck that Chud Logic is scared to hash it out with. DemonMama. DK goes beyond clickbait and enters the real of openly lying. The title literally says that Lucy has mass reported Chud Logic. I left. Always complaining about video titles again.
So here we have my first sort of comment that Chud Logic says leftoids complaining about video titles again. And well, that is not what I'm complaining about. I'm gonna turn myself on. That is not what I'm complaining about. What I am complaining about is that Chud Logic has accused me of mass reporting him. That is my complaint. I haven't reported Chud Logic. I have not mass reported Chud Logic. There have been no reporting going on. So now I'm not actually complaining about a video title. I'm complaining about being accused of mass reporting. You know? Like, mass reporting is a fairly serious accusation, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Thank you, Butterwagon. Like, I mean, this is a fairly serious accusation. I've even seen people saying, oh, if only it wasn't for the mass reporting, then Lucy Haza is not such a bad person. I have not mass reported anyone. Thank you. Okay? Like, but yeah, sure. Frame it as me complaining about a video title.
Thank you. Chud Logic actually wrote a comment asking if Lucy doesn't want to hash it out on stream. But ever since, he has been rather shy to follow up on that. I haven't actually followed up on it, that's true. That is a fair...
Well, I haven't reported him, so there is nothing to report him on.
criticism. But it's not because I'm shy, I just, you know... I mean, she's a literal fucking Humegalol.
I don't know, like, Chud Logic aren't British people supposed to be like super funny, super into the jokes? I even wrote a bit sarcastically that he's a bit shy to contact me, and now he responds as if it was serious. I'm not being shy, she's just on the megalol. Like, what is this? Like, aren't British people supposed to be funny?
I'd just be bringing on for memes.
I don't know.
That's why I've not really followed it up.
Sure. Yeah, sure. You say that now. But I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm on Omega LOL, so you won't contact me to talk to me. Even though it was your idea. You wrote a comment under my video asking me to talk. And then you said that I probably wouldn't respond. And when I responded, suddenly it's not worth talking to me anymore because I'm an Omega lol. But it is still worth making this little segment about me, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm too much of an Omega lol to talk to, but I'm not enough of an Omega lol to not do a snipey segment about me. Even though I would like to remind you once more, Chud Logic said that after my response we should just talk because making more videos or responses wouldn't make any sense. And now he's making just that and saying that talking to me wouldn't be worth it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. But it's a bit cowardly, isn't it? Like, I'm small as well. Like, I have under 600 subscribers, and he finds it worth on making little snipey, horrible segments about me.
Wait, hang on a minute. Ducky Lucy Hayes. Are they referring to themselves in the third person?
And yeah, when I write in chats, I write in the third person because I don't know, it's just a little aesthetic thing that I do. I don't really have to do it. Like, I do it because it's sort of like part of the brand, you could say, you know? It's just part of like how I write. It's a little bit of like a quirky thing that I do. It's not that I have to do it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or it's also some people in his chats some people in his chat wrote that my avatar moves in weird ways. That's because I'm having trouble with placing my camera in a good way. My camera setup is really scuffed, so my avatar goes wild when I move, you know? Because I'm still figuring out a way to place my camera in a way that won't make my avatar go wild from time to time, you know? I guess I have to explain myself from every angle. Why my avatar goes wild, why I chat in the third person even though it's not even a big deal. Like, I don't know. I'm about to be psychoanalyzed by Chud Logic because I speak in the third person. Yeah. I mean, it can be considered a part of a character. Look.
What the fuck? Why? That is the sign of a schizo, is it not?
Yeah, I'm a schizo, I guess. I'm a schizo. But wait, before we get into that, I will take a minute to ask Chud Logic directly if he should watch this ever. Are you or are you not accusing me of reporting you? I would like an answer to that. If your answer is no, I'm not saying you mass reported me, then you know what? I don't care about the title. I do not care about the title of your video. Let it be known, I don't care about the title as long as you admit that I did not report you. There you go. That's a compromise I'm willing to agree to. You know? There you go. Now we move on to me being a schizo for talking in the third person, which is forbidden. Fun is forbidden. The fan police Chud Logic will forbid me for doing anything quirky or anything that's remotely fun because I don't know. It's schizo. It's just weird. Writing in chat, um, chatting is serious business. There's a certain code of conduct when it comes to writing in chat. You know?
That's really fucking weird behavior.
Yeah, it's such weird behavior because chatting is such serious business, you know? I don't know. How could I even think of using third person? Such strange behavior. I'm such a schizo. You're right. You're right, Chud Logic. 100%.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Man, am I going to need to follow up with this person?
I don't know. It's up to you. The ball's in your court. I don't know. What is the problem with being quirky? That's a good question. I guess when you're quirky, you're just a schizo. Like, I don't know. I guess that's it now. I have to be 100% serious now. Like the big streamer Chud Logic here.
Like,
Yeah.
just to show that I...
It was your idea. It was your idea to talk. You wrote a comment under my video saying we should talk. It wasn't even my idea. And now you're acting as if I was insisting on talking to you. This is so weird.
Like, look, I don't really fucking... I can't be bothered to fucking sort this out. I wish you...
Well, if you can't be bothered, why did you propose it in the first place?
just message me and I could be like, yeah, we'll talk at this time.
Why should I message you? It was your idea. Why should I message you to insist on coming on to your show to become your meme fodder or whatever? Yeah. Well, sure. I'm not even all that worked up. It's just a bit strange, you know? Although I don't know, he already thinks I'm a schizo, so... And they all attack my voice, even though I'm still dead in the middle of voice training. And voice training is not easy.
It might be good content, yeah. I don't know, man. I just obviously have had other stuff going on and I just lose... I'm very bad at following up with stuff like this.
Yeah, sure. Chud Logic is super busy with super important stuff, right? Like, I don't know. Chud Logic, the busy boy. If he can't be bothered to follow up, why is he following up by creating a content again on Lucy? Well, I don't know. I guess I'm too much of a schizo to talk to directly, but meme worthy enough to just talk about. Yeah, of course. You're right. Granddad 7, you're right.
But I probably should, shouldn't I?
Maybe it's up to you. It's up to you.
Lucy did make some videos on him, so he reacted to him and called Lucy mentally ill, and that Lucy needs a new fundraiser for mental health. I don't understand why lefties do this thing. They don't understand the fucking culture, I guess.
I don't get the culture. I don't get the culture. I am uncultured, I guess.
But they say stuff like this as if it's a bad thing.
Wait, so, first of all, what thing did I do? Second of all, where in this message have I even said that it's a bad or good thing? I just said that it happened, and now you're creating a whole lore into what I've said here. See? I simply said he called me mentally ill and that I need a new fundraiser for mental health. And now Chud Logic is creating a whole story about how leftists do a thing, whatever the thing is, and how I'm writing about it as if it was bad. Like, I don't know, I don't know, Chud Logic, you're just creating a whole brain cannon about this.
And I just look at it and I'm like, that's just funny though. I think that's funny. And a lot of people that watch me would find that funny too. So it's like,
I mean, that's your prerogative to find it funny, but it's also my prerogative to describe it as it happened on chats. And you know, if people find it to be bad based on a dry description, then maybe it means something, or maybe not. Maybe people will read this and find it funny just like you did. Like, I have not exactly said that it was good or bad. I just wrote that it happened, as you can clearly see on the screen, right? I haven't exactly, right, written any conclusions about this.
why would you say it? I guess it wasn't to my audience, it was to DemonMama's audience, but I mean, where's the lie at the end of the day?
I don't know. I guess that's a question you should ask yourself. So I guess we're moving on. This is boring now.
Anyway, there's that.
There's that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the Keffel stuff, but maybe.
I've started to do a cancela. See, this is like a thing. When I'm playing a game, someone's trying to troll me by saying they're doing a Consuela voice from Family Guy. And there are people that struggle with voice in real life settings. MJ voice after my transition land, and people clearly feel uncomfortable. How do you convince people your voice is real? See, I'm struggling to speak here because I'm in the middle of voice training. That's a tricky one. I think so. I don't know. I just answered as if it was a genuine question. There you go. I think you sort of. I think you keep using it, until people get used to it, Because if they are used to your old voice, then maybe you're just, you're famous. Change is shocking,
One of the biggest issues with this kind of like,
there we go. This is like the crust of Chud Logic's argument here. Here we go.
Platform capitalism shit, i.e., you got a platform and anyone can have a voice on there and anyone can set it up. It's given this perception of like anyone can do this. Anyone has got the capability to do this. And although I see people say like, oh, you could just train to be a content creator and you can learn. I don't think that's true. I think some people are so fundamentally broken in their head that there's no amount of fixing that's going to get them to a position where they can actually be a streamer. Like the only viewers this person is getting is pity viewers. That's literally it. Why the fuck would anyone unironically watch this content? Pity viewers or people that are laughing at them for being a lolcow. Like, no one is watching this because they actually genuinely are engaged with the content. It's like an incoherent mess. And this is the biggest fucking problem that you've got with content creation and stuff like that.
There we go. So this is yeah, this is basically this those are my thoughts about this. So is this projection that I'm sensing, like, this is a bit pathetic to me, you know? Chud Logic, are you basically starting to be a bit insecure about the fact that you have been doing this whole streaming thing for 3 years now, and you are at 21.6k subscribers after 3 years of doing content? That you have no content of your own to speak of, which we can actually which I can actually demonstrate to you right now. Chud Logic channel. Let's go. Chud Logic has
Why is it that there's
basically
no big
Chud Logic has zero content of his own. Reacting to drama, reacting to drama, drama, reacting to drama. It's all drama. He has zero content of his own. And honestly, what is there to be engaging in when it comes to your content, Chud Logic? What is there to your content? It's cheap drama and clickbaity, sometimes clickbaity thumbnails, and sometimes it's just blatant lying. You know? Like, you're stagnant at Chud Logic. It reads to me a little bit like insecurity and projection on your part. Also, is like, is this all you can say about me? Like, based on my behavior, that I'm mentally ill? Are you dense, Chud Logic? Are you a bit, I don't know, slow? I don't even know what to say. Like, but here comes the other argument that is extremely funny to me.
it's made people believe and think that they have got a place to have a voice when they've got nothing interesting to say. They just
This is pure projection. Chud Logic actually never has anything interesting to say. All Chud Logic does is react to drama and basically call people mentally ill, like he's doing here. Is he actually saying anything interesting when responding to me? Is he giving any input at all outside of calling me mentally ill? No, not really, no.
repeat takes of other content creators in a worse way. And
Repeat takes of other content creators in a worse way. This especially feels like pure projection to me, considering what most of Chud Logic's content is. Have you seen Chud Logic's media analysis lately, when he unironically said that his media analysis is, I find this person to be hot and I don't find this person to be hot? And this was his unironic, quote unquote, subjective media analysis. This person is hot, this person is not hot. Amazing. You know?
then on top of that as well, they do it in a really weird, incoherent, mentally ill way. And it's just like, that is the biggest problem. There's people out there who should be in fucking mental institutions that are somehow subsisting on the pity donations they get from streams. And
Pity donations. Speaking of pity donations, okay? Because I know I can count on my pity donations. If I could ask you to maybe give me a few petty donations so that I can afford transition. This is my petty link number 1. If you want to give me a one-time pity donation, but actually, if you're a very nice person who has a lot of empathy and feels especially bad for me, you can actually become a pity subscriber to my Patreon. There we go. You too can become a part of my pity party by either giving me a one-time donation or subscribing to my Patreon. There we go.
It's tragic.
It's tragic, really. But we continue.
It's tragic, really.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny though. It's funny.
So is it tragic or is it funny? Is it funny or is it tragic? Thank you, Valhalla.
But this creator has lots of Patreon supporters. Yes, because there was a big charity drive for them. So I'm presuming the Patreon supporters are off the back of that. There's no way that you can have a bunch of Patreon supporters off of 600 subs. It's because of the charity shit.
Okay, this is really pathetic. I think this is the most pathetic part of the whole thing that Chud Logic has made about me so far. Why? Because no, the Patreons are not from the fundraiser. And you absolutely can get that many Patreons from having only that many subscribers. I have gained my subscribers before the fundraiser event. In fact, I have actually lost subscribers. I have lost Patreons. You know? I have lost Patreons lately because people have found themselves in more difficult financial situations. So I'm earning less from Patreon now than before. And I'm gonna be honest, Chud Logic. If you so confidently say that it is impossible to have that many Patreons with only 600 subscribers, even though I'm actually below 600 subscribers, that speaks more about you than me. Maybe you should maybe you should just become better at promoting your Patreon. I don't think you're very good at this, Chud Logic. Like maybe there's a thing that you could learn from this. I don't know. Like this is sad. This feels like a self-report on Chud Logic's part that he thinks that it's absolutely impossible to have that many Patreons while having only 600 subscribers. Like, you should promote your stuff better. Yeah, Chud Logic earns like £7 from his Patreon. It's a bit sad, really. Maybe, maybe I could give you a few pointers when we finally talk. Yeah, exactly.
Take the L Chud. She
It's not paused, he's just standing like this.
owned you with that response video. Listen, it was funny. It was funny content to watch. Don't get me wrong. You know, I think that like what is that person even doing? They're sat there playing some fucking 8-bit video game. I don't even recognize what it is.
Yeah, Battletoads, one of the most known video games ever, is an 8-bit video game that he has never heard of. Also, which is it? Was my video funny to watch or am I too fundamentally broken in the head to even make content? Please pick one. Either I'm too fundamentally broken to make content at all or my content is funny to react to. I don't know. Like, since when is it a faux pas for a streamer to play video games on stream? I have not gotten that memo. Like, the new meta is that it's bad for streamers to play video games? Like, this is so wild. Thank you, Bouncy Bunny. Like, I don't know. He is making insults like an elementary schooler. It's actually pretty pathetic. Oh, Battletoads has been on many consoles. Super Nintendo, Game Boy. I've played the Battletoads on the Game Boy the most, I think. No games, no jokes, no bad motion tracking or Chud will cancel you, true. And most importantly, no third-person speech. That's schizo behavior. I'm a schizo now. Chud Logic. You know what, Chud Logic? If you think I need a fundraiser for my mental health, why don't you organize one for me, Chud Logic? Why don't you organize one for me? And why don't you raise a lot of money for my mental health? You seem to be very concerned about me, Chud Logic.
You know,
No,
like
Chud Logic is the international Apex Legend champion, I think. Or something or the other.
it's just there's no conception of like content.
No conception of content. Says the person that basically depends on drama to have any content, depends on responding to me like this to have any content. That basically said openly that he doesn't advocate for anything, that he doesn't really push for anything. Like, I'm sorry, my audience may be smaller than yours. My delivery might not be on point, but I've got more of a focus on my channel than you. I've got art, I've got history. So, at worst case scenario, I can just fall back on doing purely history streams because at least I know my history. What do you know, Chud Logic? Is there anything that you're knowledgeable about at all? Worst case scenario, I can also just draw on stream. I can make like cute little animations like this one, right? Worst case scenario, I can just start drawing on stream, which, by the way, I guess this is the right time to say I'm gonna be doing art streams to fulfill commissions from people every Wednesday, starting this Wednesday. So if you want to see me draw things on stream, you should tune in on Wednesday. This particular animation actually only has 3 frames. It is 3 drawings. This animation consists of 3 drawings and it's actually just a quick sketch. So yeah, I'm actually willing to say that, I don't know, I'm actually willing to say that my channel has more of a focus than yours. We are the chuddiest chuds of all time, Chud. Nice. Nice. Very nice. You know?
Like of a vision of like where to go with your channel and what you're gonna do.
Like, I don't know. I may not be so fast in implementing it, but I don't know. It's like I think I think I've got a vision for my channel. I don't think you have to worry about that. Chat Nation.
And people just persist on this. It's crazy to me. Was that Battletoads? I don't know the
It is
game.
Battletoads, that's right. Also, Asylum has more, like, Asylum has a lot more courage to actually engage with me than Chud Logic himself.
I know the meme, but I don't know the game. I thought it was like mainly a meme thing. But yeah.
So yeah, that's the content. And yeah, I haven't paused. He's just freezes like this from time to time.
Apparently, that was known provocateur forever. That was known provocateur forever. Putting in chat some things.
Yeah, I just responded to the provocation as if it was a normal question because I know there are people that actually deal with those sorts of situations. So, like, I don't know what the quote unquote provocation was even supposed to be accomplishing, to be honest.
Winding her up, schizo baiting.
Schizo baiting. Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Chud Logic.
Okay, I'll read.
So they will read the thing that I responded to by giving advice to people that struggle with their voice in social settings. Mind you.
How do I get people to just go with my new voice? I've started to do a Concella MJ voice after my transition, and people clearly feel uncomfortable. How did you convince people your voice is real? Yes, but they will always think it in the back of their minds. I don't want them to pretend. I'll not want them to earnestly believe.
I'm not sure what this even I'm
Oh,
not even sure what this provocation is supposed to accomplish, to be honest. Like, this is pretty sad behavior.
oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Sure. Sure, Chud Logic.
What's this?
What is it? I think this is where it ends. The Chud Logic segment. And he just moves on to something else. Yeah. So yeah, Chud Logic, if you ever decide that you want to talk to me, that you actually, you know, that you actually would like to engage, that you're not a spineless coward, because I'm not gonna lie, this reads to me like you're just afraid to talk to me for some reason and looking for excuses to do some cheap snipes at me instead. That's it, I guess. I'm not gonna send you a message. Like, there are more, there are less transphobic and more valuable people that I could be talking to. And people that are not at 21K after 3 years of creating content, mind you. Like, I could be talking with, I don't know, Vosh instead of you. So, what do I have to gain from sending you a message? What do I even have to gain from talking to you? Like, you're washed up, you're just a drama monger. Like, there's no, like, there we go. There's not much for me to gain from talking to you. So yeah, that's about it. Right? So that's it. So if you have enjoyed this segment, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, become a pity Patreon. And yeah, I've had a great chat with Dylan Burns. No drama. It was about history, current events. Yeah. And I think if we are talking about focus on focus of the channel, I think this is a good opportunity to speak about the focus on the channel, right? Something Chud Logic has said that a fundamentally broken person like me is missing. So I would like to move my channel more towards history, current events, interesting conversations with people that actually want to advocate for something, that actually want to move towards something. Like, if Chad Logic decides to follow up, send me a message, then I guess I'm going to talk to him. But apart from that, I think we're moving on from Chad Logic. I don't think we're even gonna be reacting to his videos moving forward. I don't think there's much to be gained from reacting to Chud Logic anymore. We have reacted to some of his videos. We have laughed at his content. We have, I don't know, we had our laughs. And that's it. I think we're moving on. You know? I guess that's it. We're gonna move on from Chud Logic until he um, decides to follow up like he said he should, and then we can talk. But apart from that, that's it. We're done with Chat Logic for now. Maybe forever if he doesn't follow up. So I guess Asylum, if you wanted that to happen, then that's it. You can send Chad Logic this video. I'm sure it'll be great content for him. I'm sure he'll call me mentally ill 5 more times. I'm sure he'll call me a schizo. It's all for the greater good of content, right? There we go. So now we are moving to something more positive, okay? We're moving to something much more positive. Look at this animation as I grab the link. I'm gonna grab the link and we're gonna move to the next segment. I'm gonna drink some water in the meantime as well. But yeah, if you wanna see the content that I want to move towards, watch my talk with Dylan Burns. Oh, you want? I don't know how to ban. Okay, let's go. I have this link in my DMs with Obsessive Orange. I think this is a really lovely thing that DemonMama has done, and I think that we should watch it together and discuss it, because I think this is like a part of something bigger that we can all build together, right? So I'm gonna click on here, and we're gonna move from the negative stuff to the positive stuff.
In Tibet, and
We have finished Final Fantasy VII, and we are playing Final Fantasy Tactics now, and we also have started Parasite Eve. You know?
in countries or cultures that follow the Zoroastrian religion. A sky burial is when a body is prepared and put out, usually on a slab or some sort of ceremonial display, and then left out in the sun for vultures to feed upon.
Right.
And in fact, there are a lot of sort of religious symbols associated with this, and I can't claim to know them all or to be able to summarize them from.
This is like a segment about a burial for the Twitter left. We are bidding farewell to the toxicity. You know, all the negativity.
From every single culture. However, one thing that should be noted is that pretty much unilaterally, it is considered a good omen if the body is consumed by vultures.
Okay.
And let me say, of all of the things that we can say about the online left, the Twitter left in particular,
Right.
it is being consumed by vultures.
Oh, no.
Okay? Oh, absolutely. There is no doubt about that part, okay?
Oh, wow.
So I do think that perhaps we can acknowledge that there was some blessings to be had, that there was there's no curse residing any further in the body of the Twitter left.
So I guess we are to count our blessings, since in some cultures it is considered a good omen, the being eaten by vultures, right?
We're
gonna return to Final Fantasy Tactics soon.
As someone in chat says, true, imagine being so rotten and disgusting that not even a vulture would touch it.
True.
Well, see, before you get to do a sky burial, like the one that we are hosting together today,
That is nice.
it is inevitable
burial.
that some amount of rot is going to set in.
Right.
And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of rot did set in, even before we were able to drag the dead body out into the sun to be consumed by vultures, and so that we all might have peace.
And make something new.
And I gotta say,
Yeah.
my fucking God,
Right.
is the rot bad?
Yeah.
Okay, the rot is fucking rotten. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the fucking wise words from Demon Mama from
Thank
tonight.
you. Thank you.
I have talked about the subject of politics, discourse, the left on Twitter for a really long time. In fact, at some point, probably towards the latter half of this, we might actually revisit an old video of mine that I talked about. And I wanted to just, I don't remember everything, exactly everything that I said in the videos. One of my oldest videos on the channel, on the YouTube channel. And I thought it would be interesting to go back and visit it and see what I had to say. And I see a lot of people in chat right now talking and dropping all kinds of things, being like, did you hear this? Did you hear that? And I just want to be 100% clear here. None of you are free of sin. None of you. Unless, I mean, maybe some of you are. It is true that some of you aren't on Twitter. So it is true that some of you didn't participate in any of the shit that I'm like sort of referencing here. That many of you didn't participate in striking wounds, but a lot of you absolutely motherfucking did. And I'm sure that some content creators are here as well. And some of you also participated in this. And I think all of us, to a certain degree, every single one of us content creators contributed in one way or another, but the degrees vary greatly. The degrees truly vary greatly, okay? But the state of the Twitter left right now is uniquely bad. It is worse by far than it has ever been. And I've been on Twitter for a really, really long time. I've been on Twitter in lefty spaces for literally years. Before I was a streamer, I sort of just floated around lefty spaces online, finding people to talk to who I thought were interesting, finding recommendations on comments or on content. And
I really love this segment because it highlights how my goals for this year and Demon Mama's goals for this year intertwine. And I'm gonna explain it as the segment continues, okay? This is actually really interesting to me because it really marks the perfect time to pull our strengths together and build something new and better than before. If that makes sense? Does that make sense to you all? I think this is a huge opportunity for us all. You know? I think this is a big opportunity for us, for all of us.
And browsing people's opinions on various subjects. And there has always been a streak of toxicity on Twitter. I think it's almost unavoidable. And in fact, it's something I've talked about extensively, that the way that Twitter is structured leads to certain types of toxicity. And I can explain that a little bit because I think it's important to explain.
Demon Mama is really nice, both when she's on stream, but also sort of in private, you know? Really nice.
Twitter has an algorithm that promotes engagement over basically anything else. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, more important to Twitter than engagement. There are all kinds of forms of engagement, and as it turns out, we live in politically turbulent times, which means that people are likely to share their political opinions, which means that conflict is a highly, highly, highly lucrative engagement driver. And you have to remember that Twitter isn't about creating good content.
Yeah.
Twitter isn't about promoting good content.
Yeah.
It's about promoting ads. It's about promoting ads which need engagement.
Keep in mind, the same is true for other social media sites such as YouTube, such as TikTok, such as Twitch as well. This is not just true for Twitter. This is true for other platforms as well. And it is up to us how we react to it. It is up to us what we make of it, what sort of like presence we build, what sort of communities we build, and what sort of things we push for, right?
In order for Twitter to make the money that it makes or used to make, we haven't even gotten into discussing the Elon Twitter era and all that nonsense. But
Yeah.
in order to make any money, they have to drive engagement. And one of the ways to drive
That's true.
engagement is to drive conflict,
Yeah.
to serve controversial tweets up to everyone. Tweets that are likely to make people angry, make people want to speak their mind.
Yeah.
And to a certain degree, this is a perfectly
I've been baited into it as well. I've recently had so many Twitter interactions with TERFs when I've basically, well, it's a mess. Talking with TERFs is a mess. So yeah, I've certainly fallen prey to this whole algorithm thing, being served with horrible TERF opinions that I felt compelled to respond, you know? And it drove them to respond, and it created this back and forth. Spoiler alert, I won. But still, you know?
rational instinct from the users, right?
Yeah.
You see someone else giving their opinion, you say, well, I have a right to voice my opinion. But the problem is that, well, frankly, some people have really fucking shitty opinions. And not
Yeah, like TERFs. And I don't really like seeing a bunch of TERFs in my social media. You know, it is actually a bit distressing seeing people that hate me and others like me on a very fundamental and essentialist grounds, you know?
only on top of that, sometimes their opinions aren't just opinions anymore, but are just deranged forms of abuse. But those are all sort of flattened down into engagement. And when you add in some of the other aspects of Twitter and the way that Twitter functions on top of all of this, the fact that threading, you know, if you're familiar with the term, the way that the way that the actual
I'm
tweets are
familiar.
linked together, that's called
I'm familiar. The threading system really, when I first joined Twitter, it confused me a lot. The threading system. I've actually struggled to. I saw tweets that were answers to something, but I actually struggled to find the first thing that started it all. I struggled at first to actually find the thread itself, to follow the thread, to see what the context of the newest thing was, what was it all even about. It was really unintuitive to me, you know?
threading. The way that threading operates on Twitter, it doesn't really operate. Threads break into subthreads, meaning that you lose context immediately, okay? It's poisonous to any sort of genuine conversation. Now, it's great for engagement because, as it turns out, if you lose all of the context of someone's statement, that becomes more likely to emotionally bother you. It functions as a sort of like a digital Rorschach test. You see something without the context and you sort of project what your interpretation is on top of it without being.
And of course, I also think the limit of how many words you can type also feeds into this, you know? Also, interestingly enough, as I've told someone else before today, Twitter has not caught on in Poland quite as much as Facebook has. And like, Facebook has been by far the more popular platform when it comes to Poland compared to Twitter.
Being able to easily find everything else. And Twitter's just really bad for that. Short tweets, super restricted character limit means that, you know, only so much information can be communicated. Threading means, the way that threading works means that you lose context almost intrinsically. Killjoy 40K says, last year was a perfect example, like 100 tweet threads about 40+ hours of streams where 90% of the people actually commenting on the streams were reacting to something with a completely broken frame of context. It's deranging.
Exactly, this is what I've been talking about. This broken frame of context. I've actually struggled with this as well. There is also another factor which has good and bad aspects too. People are engaging at the same level, not depend on their size or following mostly. And the issue is you will have people who is using a personal way to keep touch with people and post something to them and then picked up by some political content creator, commentator, and suddenly they will get hit. Yeah, that's right. In Poland, actually, when I talk to my real life best friends, the thing we use to communicate is the Facebook Messenger. I talk to my real life best friends using the Facebook Messenger. Yeah. How Destiny picked up on that woman speaking about her being stealth and about her experience. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
It is maddening. It means that every person entering into a conversation is, for the most part, a real person, but the world that they are operating in is different in a drastic degree from the people around them.
Yeah.
And the way that the pace moves on Twitter, the speed at which everything moves on Twitter, means that it gets toxic very fast.
True.
And it gets hurtful very fast.
Yeah.
And I've talked about these aspects for a long time. In fact, some of you, maybe some of you are new to my audience, and if you're new to my audience, you should press subscribe because I would love to have you come to my streams more often. I talk about all kinds.
True. I also would like all of you to press like and watch the stream and, you know, throw me some pity donations.
Kinds of topics. We laugh a lot on this stream. We talk about heavy subjects. We talk about light subjects.
True.
We talk
Same
about a lot of
here.
stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
And we usually have a really good time.
Yeah.
But if you're new to my stream, you may not even be familiar with this old...
I always have a good time when I watch DemonMama's streams. It's really, I have to admit, it's only getting better, you know? It's only getting better.
This like ancient meme from my channel that's been around forever, which is the IMPS code. The IMPS code, I for a while had a reputation for being kind of annoying about talking about the IMPS code, but I haven't talked about it as much recently because, well, because I don't care as much about Twitter as I used to. The IMPS code was designed as a sort of off-the-cuff rule of thumb to help you enjoy Twitter better on a technical level. And I'll tell you the IMPS code right now. I immediately stopped discoursing for the reasons I just explained. Don't do discourse. You can't actually have an actual discourse with somebody. There's no dialogue to be had. Just don't do it. Don't engage in it. And then, of course, M is memes and creams. which are rarer than ever, I should let you know, on Twitter. In the current state of Twitter, when was the last time, like, you really saw, like, your timeline full of funny memes or creams? You guys should know what creams are. It's pretty easy to figure out what that is. Twitter was famous for a while for being a really good place to find, let's call it adult entertainment, okay?
All right.
Memes and creams. You always want to do that on Twitter. Twitter is great for memes and creams. So I immediately stopped discoursing. M, meme and cream. And then, of course, we have P, which is promote. And promote means...
I actually made my Twitter in order to promote my thing. Yeah. That was the main reason why I have made Twitter.
If you have a show that you're making, if you have a piece of art that you're making, if your friend has a piece of art that they're making, if you have a fundraiser, promote that shit. Twitter is not very good for promotion of that type anymore. It used to be really good for that. But it's not so good anymore. And then, of course, S, which was slaughter your genuine opponents in the arena of ideas. And this one, I always made sure to stress that it's about dunking on and
I actually have a Mastodon, so I have to start using it. I have to start using a Mastodon.
slaughtering your genuine opponents, people that you don't have any hope of a dialogue with, people that you don't care about at all. That
See,
you
we
have
have just slaughtered Chud Logic, so I guess I have listened to the code. We have slaughtered Chud Logic.
common with, or that are your abject enemies. Nazis, hardline conservatives, trad cats, whoever the people who are trying to take you out are, go ahead and have fun. Dunk on them. But the important part of that rule was that you know who your enemies are. And I just wish more people would have adopted the IMPS code. You know? It would have been nice.
I'm adopting the code.
Twitter, in recent memory, has become the most miserable website in the entire world. And don't fucking lie to me. If any of you here in my chat are going to be like, oh, I still have fun on Twitter, you're lying to yourselves. I see the timeline. I see what you all are fucking posting. I see the group
Although
chat.
my brother mainly follows Japanese manga artists, and that sort of works out for him. Because he mainly gets news from posts from Japanese manga artists, so I guess if you do that, you won't get much toxicity.
Chats. My entire Twitter social network, all of the spaces that I inhabit on Twitter have been nothing but weeping and gnashing of teeth for weeks, for arguably for months. And of course it has gotten worse under Elon Musk.
Yeah. Under Elon Musk, it has gotten a lot worse.
It's, you know, Elon Musk deliberately cranked up the controversial part.
Yeah, the Giggler code. Yeah, the Giggler code. We should actually, yeah, Gigglers are kind. Yeah, it's true. We do have a Giggler code. Obsessive Forge, can you write the code, the Giggler code in chat? I would be very thankful if you could write out the Giggler code in the chat.
Of the algorithm, he wanted left-wing accounts to be served
we do
to
have a
right-wing
code.
accounts. He wanted right-wing accounts to be served to left-wing accounts, which, in theory, if you're like you're trying to be like an enlightened centrist, is you know, is understandable to.
I despise centrism. Centrists are usually people skewed to the right. So I despise centrists. Sorry.
A certain degree, but you have to remember that not everyone wants to be subjected to 4chan tier humor that's making fun of Jewish people on a regular basis. They don't want to be subjected to that shit, and they shouldn't have to be. But they have been. On Twitter, more and more people in the Twitter left have been served this hateful garbage, and that's what they see. They're being fed deranged rants by Charlie Kirk and Matt Walsh, and then
Or other tariffs.
they comment on it, and then everybody else sees it, and then everybody else comments on it, and it creates this horrible cycle of negativity and anger, and it doesn't really have anywhere to go, because it's Twitter after all. It's not really meant to change the world, it's just meant to give you ideas and let you connect with people. But honestly, it goes far beyond this.
Yeah.
The online left in recent memory has become, not the online left. I shouldn't say the online left. I should specifically say the Twitter left.
The Twitter left,
It
right.
does, however, I will point out that the Twitter left does influence the rest of the online left.
Why I
Because a
left
lot of
the
the people
Twitter
that you
left.
know, a lot of the influencers and whatever that you know are still hanging out and spending a lot of time on Twitter. Giving their takes, getting into fights on Twitter, getting into drama on Twitter.
Yeah.
And
And we should have more love and solidarity. This is our year. This is the year of love and solidarity. And I think this video also reflects it.
and so it has this bleed out where like all of the stupid garbage and the misery that's on Twitter is like flooding out into other spaces. But it really reached its apex recently.
Apex Legends.
And I have to say, I found it disgusting
Yeah.
and pathetic
Yeah.
and sad.
And I doubly agree with this after the things that I've been reading on Twitter before starting the stream. Some really disturbing things that I've been learning about, you know?
And I'm mad about it. I've been really mad about it, and I've been feeling really
Like no charitability, no people getting attacked even though they are actually our friends, you know?
fucking terrible about a lot of things that I've seen lately.
Yeah, I have to agree. I feel terrible about the things that I've seen right before this stream.
On so many sides, and I'm gonna be clear here. I am not talking about specifics right now because I want literally everyone, every single person that is still in any way taking part in this like horrific and nightmarish toxic space, just do some serious introspection.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I know that I'm like probably gonna risk coming off a little bit.
I'm doing some introspection right now as I'm listening. You know, we should all do. This is actually pretty important and a great opportunity for us all.
Like a little bit preachy here, but holy fucking shit. If there has ever been a time to fucking look inside and seriously reanalyze your behaviors, and yes, I mean fucking all of you, this
including
is the
me.
time.
Including me.
Because it is reached a level of toxicity that is truly unbearable.
Yeah.
It is a level of toxicity that feels choking.
Yeah.
Nuts says the woke schools started it. You want to know what's really funny that I've noticed in recent days?
Yeah.
Is that there's a whole lot more woke scolds than there ever has been. There is a whole lot more fucking fragile little snowflakes than there ever has been, and a lot of them are people who love to use the word woke scold. It's something I've been seeing so much lately. So with all due respect, fucking shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Seriously. there's people here who want to be like, oh, they did this first. But trust me, I've fucking seen the threads. I've seen the derangement that people have engaged in on all sides of every single one of these stupid, asinine, time-wasting, moronic, toxic, painful, cancel culture-y bullshit. It's embarrassing. It is truly embarrassing.
True.
And not just embarrassing on like a, oh my God, that's cringe level. It's embarrassing on an almost existential level. To the degree that I unironically believe that the only way forward is for the Twitter left to pass on. It's time that's why I'm happy.
If you need to go and rest, you should rest, you know? You've got a pretty serious illness, you know? So you should rest as much as you can. Yeah, all of us have gotten used to drama and fighting with each other. Slights and disagreements that aren't that big of a deal get blown out of proportion. Yeah, it is unfortunate.
Having this burial here today, because at least for me, the Twitter left is a dead thing, and it's time that we acknowledge that it's a dead thing.
Yeah.
And you might have noticed I barely post on Twitter anymore. Most of what I post on Twitter is random reactions to memes, is little wholesome content. Somebody posts a little ooh-woo thing and I say, you're doing great, champ. And then I promote a couple little things here and there. And over the last few days, I've literally deleted everything and gone back to Mastodon again for full.
I should move to Mastodon.
But,
I have it.
But I can't even escape it anymore. Even without tweeting, the last 4 days, I mean, I haven't streamed in days. And yet, and part of the reason is because every single day I log on and all my group chats are choked up with the most toxic fucking stupid shit. People are not thinking straight. I have seen people that I otherwise think are fucking fantastic behaving like motherfucking assholes. The cruelty that I've seen is laughable. And the fact that people are tossing around the word like woke scold and tender queer, and I have done that too, because trust me, I certainly have some problems with woke scolds and tender queers and whatever. I think that type of behavior is shitty. But
I have used those terms as well. Woke skull and tender queer. I have used them. I have used those terms as well.
Gotta be completely honest. Like I said just a few minutes ago, it seems like basically everyone has become their own little form of a woke scold.
True.
Everybody's scolding each other. Everybody is pretending that every single word that is said is somehow has some secret meaning. And then it's provoking people into ridiculous behavior towards one another. And then people are excusing people on their own side of things. They're just literally looking the other way.
Yeah. We should embrace more love and solidarity. That's what we need, okay? That is what we need.
And I just, and it's crazy. It's super crazy. One of the things I've seen the most of recently, one of the things I've seen people say so frequently, to the degree that it concerns me, is, well, this person is a piece of shit, so what does it matter? And of course, there's never really a definition for piece of shit. I've seen like numerous posts of people saying, well, you know, I thought X behavior was bad, but then I found out this, and that makes it okay. This sort of like weird post hoc rationalization bullshit.
Right.
And you want to know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of being a fucking Christian. It reminds me of the way
really
Christians
good.
will do mental gymnastics to convince themselves that they are spreading God's love while they're actually just tearing into one another for no real reason whatsoever. And again, if you think that you're not one of the people who's engaged in this, fucking think again.
Yeah.
Seriously, think again. Because I have seen it all the fuck over the place lately.
Maybe we need less woke scold and more I disagree with you, but I love you. Not for everyone, obviously, but for most. Yeah. I'm not sure if it would have worked with a person like Chud Logic, but yeah, I agree. Recognizing the behavior when it's being unhelpful is important, but dismissing people by categorizing them as woke skulls only helps the right. Yeah, it's like it's a bit like with the Hogwarts game situation. I will be starting to stream the game for fundraising, probably this week as well. But I'm not gonna criticize those who did not wish to partake and who partook in the boycott, right? I'm not gonna criticize that, if that makes sense, right? I think it's something like that. I do believe
I have
so.
seen people acting like bitchy comments are the same thing as being a fucking Nazi. I have seen people act like jokes are 100% legitimate and it doesn't matter what was intended there. It is unfucking believable. People have lost their damn minds. Hardcore.
Yeah.
And to a degree that I think is genuinely tragic. Stakes are high right now.
Although I think it can become better. I think we can do something about it if we work together. I believe so. I believe in us. I believe in you. I believe we can make something really nice together.
Political level worldwide, but especially in the United States. Shit has gotten really fucked up in the United States, and I think pretty much everybody on the left, even liberals, can acknowledge this. That things are really fucking crazy here right now. It's always been crazy here. America is a crazy country, but lately it's been particularly ridiculous. There was an insane ramp up in this sort of violent rhetoric from the far right. There is this hate campaign against queer people that is just ridiculous. There's these book bans rolling through en masse. It is a very high stakes political situation. But guess what? Twitter isn't fucking politics. Not in and of itself. And guess what? Your disliking of someone being wrong about some obscure drama that you can never even get to the bottom of is not the end of the world. And in fact, it barely fucking matters.
True. We have been making many wonderful things, and we will make many more still.
Anyone else filled with a creeping sense of existential dread? I think so many people have. Have we forgotten that we live in a time of plague?
Yeah.
Like, unironically, we are still, right now, we have not exited.
I think so. Some of us are keenly aware of it more than others. I think so.
The plague era of the United States. We have lived through a plague, a actual literal plague.
Yeah.
And yet, instead of that encouraging people in my peer group to greater acts of of charitability, to be a little bit more forgiving, to be a little bit more kind. Instead, it has pushed people to fuel that pain into the worst ways imaginable. And I'm not trying to like sit here and toot my own horn, okay? Because God knows that I've gotten involved in some drama, okay? But this year especially, and of course, and last year as well, I have been making a definitive and clear, if you watch any of my content, effort to be more patient with people, to be more charitable to other people, even those who have fucking hurt me. And I wish other people would at least fucking think about that. I wish that at least people would consider that fucking fact. Because that is not what I see. And it is genuinely depressing. It makes me disgusted to be associated with this space. Whatever this space even is. And it also makes me embarrassed to see how much fucking the toxic cesspool of Twitter has crept out into everything else that we do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of my anger is at streamers.
At me?
Because I'm a streamer and I know a lot of streamers.
I'm a streamer.
And I get mad because so much of the streaming content right now is people lashing out in their misery, this sort of self-referential, incestuous, react things. And
wow. I think the segment before this one has been called out.
Trust me, I'm not fucking hating on React content. God knows I've had a lot of fun reacting to things. But there's also a tone and a goal issue to be considered.
Right.
That these reactions have become more and more competitive, more and more hostile, less interested in actual meaningful discussions or progress at all. Right. And they've become more consistently more interested in insults and pain and cruelty. Just literal cruelty. The cruelty I see recently in online left spaces generally, but especially on Twitter, is just fucking beyond compare.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's to drive interaction? I think it is to a certain degree. And, but I also think that, I think a lot of it is because, you know, people have convinced themselves that the only thing that sells is drama.
That is true.
To a certain degree, they're right. And I can't help but feel a lot of anger at the general, like, populace of these political streaming spaces, which are so hungry for blood.
Yeah. There's so much.
I am proud to say.
And there's so much other things that we can do, right? There's so much cool things we can engage in. There's so much cool, constructive things we can take part in. Like we can make games together. We can make art together. We can explore history together. We can, well, the sky's the limit, right? What we decide to do, we can do together. We can share our works.
That at least a lot of people in my community do not engage in.
Yeah.
There are people here who do that. There are drama frogs, no doubt. But my community has my Discord and the community that I've encouraged around my stream has never been built around drama, ever. And I am proud of that part. But so I don't want to scream at the imps too much because you guys really have.
Imps are nice.
I mean, you guys have kept me in check at times. You've kept me calm at times.
Have you kept me in check?
To the degree that, like I said, my imps are famous for being some of the people who are actually able to bridge some of the divides in this space. I've mentioned this. I've read off the comments from creators that have felt an incredible amount of positivity radiate from my chat. from me encouraging my chat to go be positive on their videos and give some love.
Yeah.
That I've had since fucking day one, a rule that says imps only raid with love.
Yeah. Gigglers
And I'm
quack
proud of
with
that. I don't want to yell at my imps too
giggles.
much. But at the same time,
Gigglers quack with giggles is my
I lurk
motto.
chats. I watch and see how people react and what people engage with. I have come to see that over time, this entire space has trended more and more towards incestuous drama baiting, towards this sort of like bridge burning mentality. I talked about this recently, about how I've seen so many people just excited to see people ruin their relationships. And to me, that
This
demonstrates...
is the whole bridge burning culture seems really strange to me. That's the especially weird thing to me. We should be building bridges that are like unburnable, you know? Strong bridges that we can walk together and we can collab together. We can do things together and we can facilitate sort of moving towards positive goals, right? If we have like trans creators, we can facilitate creating communities that will, for example, help those in need, make things better for people. For example, there has been a person on my Discord that is really sad about her situation and that she's having difficulty leaving her dangerous situation and that she has no one. And maybe we could be the people that could be there for her and could help her in some way, you know? We could help each other. We could help make a difference in each other's lives, positive difference, by building those networks together.
That there is a misanthropic streak in these spaces. That
When so much of the world is broken, we can only win by building bridges. Exactly.
wants people to hate each other, that wants to feed into the worst aspects. And I should be clear about all of this. Like, there are people who, in my opinion, are worthy of hate. I think it's okay to hate bigots, genuine bigots. I think it's okay to hate genocidal freaks.
Okay, so I guess I'm off the hook for not liking Chud Logic very much. Because if anything, he has showed himself to be quite bigoted. So I guess I'm off the hook for the segment we just did.
But
I think fetishization of debate was pretty destructive. People are looking to start arguments with each other all the time because they have the impression it's how you win. I think the big... Okay, I will give my... Okay, it's not a hot take, it's just a take. I genuinely don't think that debate itself is the problem. I think the problem is what we treat as something that is up for debate, right? I think I will give you an example. Hello, Titan. I think whether or not trans people are valid or whether or not non-binary people are trans people or whether or not, let's use gender affirming care. I think that whether or not gender affirming care should be available is not up for debate. But I think what sort of gender affirming care we should use, for example, is a thing that we can debate. Does that make sense? Does the thing that I just said make any sense?
That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about righteous anger. We're talking about people just fucking spinning narratives about each other. Taking statements that are technically true, removing them from all context, and using it to drive a ever increasing, shrieking, horrifying torture campaign against psychological torture sometimes. What is...
Yeah. Like the problem of debate is that we are basically debating things that are fact. And facts are not up to debate. Right? There is a medical consensus about gender affirming care. So it's not really a topic that is up for debate anymore. You know?
is done to people. I'm not just talking about infighting. Infighting is one thing. There is always, I've said this 100 times, I'll say it 1,000,000 times more until the day that I fucking drop dead. You can't fix infighting. People do disagree. But there's a difference between infighting and like sectarian holy wars, okay? You go and look at like the Protestant Reformation or
sectarian holy wars. But I do believe in the diversification of strategies, of tactics, you know? Which is I want to do hybrid type of content. I want to do live streams, but I want to produce pre-made content as well. I want to do a hybrid sort of content. I want to provide you with both, especially since I'm aiming to do history content. I think it's worth doing both types of things.
whatever, okay? And you see that all of these like Christian factions would literally burn each other at the stake over disagreements like over when baptism should be done. That's I'm not making that up. The Anabaptists was a movement and people got fucking tortured and murdered because they had a slightly different opinion on when baptism should happen. And I feel like we're reaching a point like that in certain aspects. I mean, the Twitter left has already reached that point and surpassed it, where people are just, they're just deranging themselves.
Yeah.
And it feels, as a content creator, who recently has, you know, for the most part, minus I guess I got involved in that fight between Not So Erudite and President Sunday, but I feel like that was just I was reacting to that, and then I gave my opinion, and I didn't try to prolong that. I didn't comment about it crazy on Twitter, even though people did say crazy things about me. I have genuinely tried to stay out of this fucking shit. The most recent drama, the one that all of you know about, that some of you are posting about in my Discord, some of you are posting about in my chat right now. Like I've actively avoided it. I've completely and utterly gone no contact on this because this shit is fucking,
I'm not sure which thing DemonMama is talking about here. It's good you have a history and plan to do multiple types of content, Lucy. Someone I watch on YouTube only fights and covers drama, and I think it's choking them. Yeah, I think so.
It feels like I'm being gaslit. And it feels like I'm being gaslit by people that I otherwise trust.
Right.
And I think that people are justifying lashing out at random people because of perceived loyalties, because of overstated harm.
I'm not sure if this is about Caffles or if this is about the Potter game, but you know,
Because of hyperbole. It's
which I'm gonna. It has been decided. I'm gonna. I hope I will see you all when I start streaming the Harry Potter game. I actually know. I actually might start streaming the Potter game tomorrow for charity, for fundraising. You know, it'll be more than one. Every Potter game that I do will be a fundraiser event.
like
I might even start tomorrow. What do you think?
you get punched by somebody else and then you decide to punch someone else because you think that person was defending the person that punched you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't speak that Spanish that well. Chaotic King.
And with all due respect, I think people need to get real. I think it's time for a change.
Maybe.
I think it's time
I
that
have
we
not
send
made
the
them.
Twitter left to the world beyond. That we allow the vultures to pick apart the rotten meat if they so desire it. And
Maybe not, but I truly believe we can do a lot of good by streaming the game for fundraising. If you'd like to help me, I encourage you to help me create a list of organizations on the Discord
and at least for me,
and the goals that we want to fulfill.
I will, say goodbye to that particular part. And keep in mind, this should not be interpreted as a why I left the left.
Flipendo.
That's insane. I don't believe that if you have a spine, that you
Yeah,
leave the left. The
exactly.
left is a descriptor for a broad set of political beliefs. My political
Exactly.
beliefs are my political beliefs. But the Twitter thing. Yeah, exactly, Ashmar. A bird burial for the bird app.
I'm on the left as well.
Guys,
I come from a pretty
I look out
left-leaning
there
family.
and I
myself.
see, I know that, everybody has a right to respond to whatever. Obviously. I don't think that people should not speak. But, don't we realize that there's, a reverse effect happening? Where nobody can talk about anything right now without being perceived as having taken a specific side. I know that I feel this. I have felt lately like there was a lump in my throat. Because and it didn't used to be this way. The tension was not this high. In the
Yeah.
past, you could have an opinion on a discourse and it wouldn't mean the end of the world. Some people would disagree with you. You might have a little argument and that was it. But now,
Yeah.
literally every
And I think it's crucial even if you have arguments, because arguments will happen. We are human. Arguments will happen from time to time, even between the best of friends, right? But it's not important to avoid arguments. It's important to know where the arguments will lead to, what is the goal, and how you and the person that you are arguing with can move towards a positive outcome, right? I do believe that.
single opinion is seen as some sort of betrayal of some faction, and nobody has any control over it. You don't, I don't, nobody does. And this tension is then being used as the justifying factor to go even harder on other people. The shit that I've seen fucking people doing to each other is I can't even believe it. It makes me cringe. It makes me cringe the way that I've seen people behave lately. Just so terrible. And you want to know, like, to be a little bit fucking egotistical and a little bit arrogant here, you are watching my channel after all. You are here listening to me preach at this fucking funeral for the Twitter left. But I get frustrated because when I do put the heart into it, when I do fucking take the time to measurably talk about something, like I did with the R-slur discourse, I feel like nobody listens. I feel like nobody cares because my take wasn't drawing a line between two groups of creators, because I wasn't picking a side in a fight, even though I had a very strong opinion that I communicated very well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's disappointing for me. It's disappointing that we're missing good opinions. We're missing thoughtful opinions, including my own, if I don't say so myself. Bazinga. But we're missing that because of because for what? For like to satisfy some weird, pathetic, cringy drama lust, so that like the Twitter left can replicate the behaviors of spaces that fucking crashed and burned. You guys realize that like drama farming, blood sports, these things failed. Have you seen the blood sports community? Have you seen the drama community? They don't fucking exist. And the reason is because they're unsustainable. They don't work. Incestuous drama farming doesn't work. It hurts people and then they leave.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think we should be more,
Relayer says,
I'm doing well.
We don't know each other. That's true. And that's part of the problem. A lot of the people in this space
know each other better.
Don't actually have any social connection with one another.
Yeah.
And this is true between creators too.
I'm trying to build social connections. That is something that I'm trying to do between me and the gigglers, but also with other content creators. There are content creators that I'm actively seeking to build a connection with, you know? This is what I'm trying to do. I'm certainly building a connection with DemonMama. I think we have started building a connection with Dylan. I think it's fair to say that we have a connection with President Sunday. And I think we definitely have a connection with Josie. And from creators, I think we have created a thread of connection with Vosh. But yeah, we are working on it.
There are a couple of creators that I have genuine connections with. Some of them I know IRL, other ones I have connected to extensively off stream. But for a lot of creators in these spaces, it is...
I would like to believe that I am included in that group.
Just posturing. It is just deciding which side of a micro culture war that you are on and sort of declaring that publicly, the consequences be damned. But that's parasocial. That is not a social...
Yeah, the Adalus Media, yeah. Two people speaking history, which I actually want to... Yeah, the Adalus Media, that's right. That's also a connection. Yeah. And Hetman, that I still have to meet. There's both some gatekeeping and several who are misrepresenting what they are or what they say they are, is for whatever reason from what I've seen. Yeah, I actually have to become much closer with the Adalus Media. And Charlie Price. Also, let's not forget Charlie Price. She is a creator, but she's also the official historian of the pond. Charlie Price. And of course, Yukarasu as well.
Connection. You're not defending your friend. You're not sticking up for something that you believe in, you're basically just farming content.
Yeah.
And what's worse, you're not even farming content, because most of the time, these fucking conflicts are happening on Twitter, where nobody's making any money, where nobody's growing anything, because Twitter is crashing and burning in real time, because Twitter is bungled.
Moving forward, as I try to focus more on history, I will definitely need to build a solid connection with the Adarus media. We definitely, and Charlie Price, yeah, we definitely need to form a solid bond.
From a technical level
forward.
all the way to a spiritual level. And I really want this to change. I personally, I need it to change. I have no desire to be engaged in these asinine, childish, and stupid conflicts. I'm all, you guys know, I am all for calling someone on their bullshit, okay?
Yeah.
You should know that. Of all the people in this space, you should know. I've always been willing to even call out my friends when I think that they're being bullshit.
Yeah.
But not everything is worthy of that level of response. Not everything is worthy of a freak out.
Yeah, Aiko is amazing as well. Yeah.
You guys know, those of you who've watched my channel for a long time know that when I do a Drama Mama, I call it Drama Mama, but let's be—
Yeah, but it's not really, it's more like, solid info mama.
real. It's not even a real drama show.
Yeah.
I go in and I try to find the truth of a situation to the best of my ability. I get all of the receipts to the best of my ability, and I try to explain it so that people can actually understand the context. My Drama Mamas, all this whole time, have been a secret psyop to try and teach people to seek context. Because without context, there is no meaning whatsoever.
Yeah,
None.
exactly.
And I don't do it perfectly. I don't say that I do it perfectly.
I do believe we are seeing the changes into what I've been talking about for a few years now. Building solidarity, building like the slogan that I have coined, love and solidarity, you know? I've been discussing this for a few years now, and it now seems that the tide is shifting towards what we need to have. Some creators seem to have said, I will say I'm leftist because it seems to attract subs or something, and now they're being seen for either being other or not even knowing what that means. Both DemonMama and Aiko are great at covering and exploring drama. Yeah, quote unquote drama.
Perfectly, but I at least make an attempt, and I make a strong attempt. And my goal was to challenge people to ask, is this true? Is this claim fucking true? Is this claim accurate? Or is this being decontextualized to—
This is very, very valuable content
create a narrative.
from both DemonMama and Aiko. You know?
As someone who has had her entire career decontextualized for the purpose of building a narrative, the narrative that— do you guys remember when there was an ongoing active narrative, many of you won't, that I was transphobic? That I was— and the reason— now, you might go, well, how would that be reasoned? How would you reason out that somebody who spends most of her time talking about trans rights explicitly arguing for trans liberation.
I think this is a big chance for us to create something really great together, Titan, you know? I believe so.
How is it that I am
And I really want to work hard to make that a reality. Creating something great and meaningful.
transphobic on an essential level? And of course, the answer was that in their mind, now if you actually went and got the context, the argument was, well, because I support self-ID, that is invalidating towards a binary model. And I'm basically, they say.
Yeah, the way that my grandfather has been teaching me media literacy, you know? Gigglers are kind, gigglers are caring, gigglers are courteous.
That's basically the same thing as saying that you choose your gender, which is basically, quote unquote, the same thing as saying that being trans is a choice, which is basically the same thing as saying that being trans is a lifestyle, therefore Demon Mama transphobic.
I remember that arc, that whole thing, when people said DemonMama was transphobic because they said self-ID makes DemonMama transphobic. All endings are also beginnings. There is opportunity for greatness. It's true. As the greatest MMORPG of all time, Final Fantasy XIV has said, an end also marks a new beginning. Every end marks a new beginning. Yeah. Final Fantasy XIV. I think she'll explain how she was framed as being transphobic.
That was a running narrative for a long time.
Yeah, I remember.
So trust me, I know
I remember what it formed.
it's fucking like to have my all of my words and everything that I believe decontextualized for the purpose of creating a narrative that benefits somebody else's fucking pocketbook. It's something I'm very sensitive to. It's an endless line of extrapolating incorrect points out of other incorrect points. The funny thing is that most of the time, there are truths to be found in these narratives, but those truths are decontextualized. People never go and look for this shit. They never go and seek out what the context is. And what I had hoped to encourage people to do was to do more of that. But I am only one person, and I am a small creator, and I know my size. I am able to acknowledge.
We are growing, don't worry. We are growing together. I love Final Fantasy so much, yeah. That's why we are playing the whole Final Fantasy series on stream. We have beaten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on stream. We are now on Final Fantasy Tactics and we'll just be moving forward.
Where I am in this space.
Yeah.
The decontextual, people call this context collapse. They call it context collapse. And and there are actually techniques that can sort of trigger context collapse.
Right.
Ones which I have become intimately familiar with. But I see this happening in rapid real time. And what's funny is the faster it picks up, the more people who are willing to jump to conclusions, the faster the pace of the conversation accelerates,
I know this
the
is
faster the content schedule accelerates, the more likely you are to suffer context collapse. Because, if I don't say something now, well then what if bad things happen and I'm proven wrong? Well, somebody I trust is saying it, so it must be true.
Yeah, I have witnessed this as well.
Yeah, it's a FOMO. Exactly, Retcon.
Fear of missing out.
Thank you very much, Stephen A. Simmons. I deeply appreciate that. Thank you.
Aiko Rules is in the chat of DemonMama.
FOMO, fear of missing out. That's
Yeah.
what that term means. FOMO, FOMO, FOMO.
I really abused seeing in video games as well. It is the source of all those horrible season passes,
I don't know.
time-gated
rough.
events,
And
fear
like
of
I said,
missing out.
it's reached a point of, I think, almost unsalvageability. I think the only real way forward is to build something new.
together.
And
I believe we can do it.
Somniostatic says, as somebody who lurks literally everywhere on the left, I've never felt worse about the state of morale in these communities. It's
Somniostatic also sometimes is in my chat as well.
bad. We need the morale now more than ever.
True. We will
But it
build
is
it together.
So hard to get people to listen at all.
Yeah.
If you're not fucking canceling somebody, if you're not fucking saying that something is the end of the world. And there are some issues that have a desperate need for severity.
Yeah.
I think many people here can acknowledge I've made a structured case, and I will continue to do so, for the urgency, the importance of fighting hard for trans rights in America right now.
Same.
That there is a ongoing genocide.
Although I will say, on my part, I want to fight tooth and nail for trans rights all over the world. You know? I think we have to be a multinational, international movement. We have to support one another across borders. Since, for example, I, for one, am not from the US, you know? So I think we have to support one another across borders. Like, we transcend nationality.
Against queer people more generally, but specifically right now, the target of the most of this is trans people. There is a push to remove our ability en masse to access healthcare. I think that's really important.
Thank you.
I think climate change is really
Yes, sir,
important.
actually.
I think race discrimination issues in America is incredibly important. These issues are incredibly important.
Yeah,
and we need
they
to
are.
use our energy towards those things.
Yeah. And I do also believe that we have to create a movement that transcends borders and stuff like nationality.
True, Eris.
Exactly, you're right. Dome to dome.
I just...
You're right. Absolutely.
I don't know. It is genuinely and unironically depressing. And there's all kinds of contributing factors. Like I said,
This is why I will uncritically support my friends from the US in their fight. It's an important fight for us all.
in the thankfully it seems to slowly be lowering. We're still in a pandemic. We're still in a plague. Twitter, which
I live in Poland. Poland is ranked the worst in the entire EU when it comes to the LGBT. And you can see you can see how a person that also lives in Poland feels, and she has sort of written how she feels in the giggle card. You know? We are all in this together. Exactly. Things get downstream things go downstream from what is happening there. But more importantly, even if things didn't go downstream, if people suffer in the US, we don't need to be in the US to want to help those who suffer in the other side of the world. We should want to help trans people in all sorts of places around the world, you know? As an international movement, this is what I believe, you know?
Which was once a place of a lot of fun. There was a lot of fun to be had on Twitter. Guys,
Yeah.
do you fucking... I remember
Twitter.
Twitter a couple years ago. I had a good time
I
on
have
Twitter
not been
most of the
all
time.
that
There were still
active.
times where I got wrong, but I remember there was a period of time where if you avoided discourse, you would still have a good time. People would be talking about interesting things. You would see
Global solidarity, putting humans first and protecting others from those who would do harm and disrupting their narratives and power, just standing up, not letting BS spread as easily. True. True. This is my year of solidarity, you know? Even if the other countries do not affect here, I think we must support the people that are suffering. Yeah, we must do international mutual aid. Yeah, that's right. I think we need to. We cannot just focus on our own countries. I think we need to focus on realizing that we are all in this together. You know? We are all in this together. Even if we are far away, even if we speak different languages, we are all in this together.
the news. And obviously a ton of changes have happened at Twitter. Like a ton. They've completely
Yeah.
changed the way the content algorithm works.
Yeah, we all must do better.
Someone in chat says, you don't support MTF women. If you did, you wouldn't have made this stream.
What? That's like
Okay.
that's like a really weird comment. But yeah, we have to fight for our brothers, sisters, and any other identities all over the world. Exactly. On a practical level, what we can do is share on the state of affairs to each other, reporting what is happening in our countries. Yeah. And doing our best to help.
If you say so. If you say so. I don't know what that fucking means.
Hello, Maya.
I guess it's a troll. I don't know. I just, there's been some good times.
And people in the target groups experience the mobilized hatred personally. With that comes individual hurt, which can be misdirected at people who would like to help, but just do not understand. Exactly. I do believe there is a ton of truth in what you are saying here.
But the Twitter left is done. And I need you all who are here listening to this to listen to that,
Yeah.
to understand that. Vultures and maggots feed on dead flesh. If you continue to feed on dead flesh, consider that you might be either a vulture or a maggot.
Yeah.
Do you think there will be anything for the online left in general to rally around in the near future? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. But there
Karasu says in the UK, for example, people pay marginalized groups against each other. And I unironically think this is what the whole TERF movement is about. The whole TERF movement is about playing marginalized groups against each other.
but there has to be an accurate and not an accurate, there has to be a genuine and high effort attempt to change the focus. People have to take it in themselves and say, nope, it's time. The time has come to change behavior. This is not working anymore. People, including you, the audience, has to be ready and willing to make like a slight change to discourage this type of fucking heinous shit and to not participate in it yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to rally around. There's so much cool stuff to dive into. There's so much fun to be had. What do you suggest people do with the time they would spend on Twitter? Anything. Hell, even Mastodon is better than Twitter. I know that some people have issues that Mastodon is technically a little more difficult to get into. Discords are better than Twitter. Any of these places are better than that. But most of all, maybe spend the time that you would otherwise spend on Twitter seeking out people's genuine opinions, because you don't get them there. I know that it's tempting to spend time on Twitter because it's easy to parse, but you don't receive people's true beliefs on Twitter. Very few people are able to communicate their true beliefs. Most of the people who are able to sort of success.
I think we are the ones that can do it. I think we are the ones that can build that positive movement. You can be feminist today if you're anti-trans. There's no Venn diagram of pro-women and anti-trans. They're mutually exclusive. Yeah, I agree.
Successfully use Twitter, and I don't mean successful for their own personal gain. I just mean like artistically as a messaging system, who are able to actually communicate their message on Twitter, do so by convincing people to leave Twitter and see other things. There are all of these communities that want to thrive, that want to be more than just horrible, cruel bullshit. Holic Master says, the one good thing that came out of the online left, for me at least, are all the cool friends that I made. Well, the cool news is we aren't mourning our friends. Yeah. We aren't mourning anybody. No person died. It's just that this weird conglomerate that we call the Twitter left is done for. It is not being used effectively. The Twitter left has, for the last week, been paralyzed, torturing individual people. And I mean a lot of individual people. I'm sure many of you have a name that pops into your mind right away. But I'm not kidding you when I say that it is just the social space is torturing individual people.
I think Stephanie Helms says, there have been times I've lashed out in the wrong direction. Forgetting all this, I regret it every time. And I remember others might do and forgive. I think one of the things that we can do also is to build a healthy, positive front, which can be our sense of, it can give us a source of strength, you know? It can give us a source of emotional strength to sort of be able to draw upon when we feel that times are rough, that things are not going well. When we are feeling hurt, we can lean on one another if that makes sense, you know? We can support one another. We can create a big positive push to sort of face obstacles in a healthier way, if that makes sense. We are not alone, which is an important thing to remember, right? It is important. We can all do that, especially when stressed. Yeah. And it's sometimes important to be understanding of that.
Retcon says it's time for the game facts left. True! Unironically, though, there's more productive shit on game facts, and the reason why there's more stuff on game facts is because people actually make guides and post them on there. People are making something. They're helping one another beat a game or whatever.
Yeah.
The thing is that
gonna
there are
help you beat
connections to be had, and you can
Final
have
Fantasy
fun
tactics.
using social media with other people. Those people that you've met, those people that you've forged actual social connections with still exist.
Exactly.
But tell me that
And we
I'm
can
not
move on
correct
together.
in saying that the social spaces that you inhabit, if you're one of the people who's been on Twitter recently, tell me that I'm wrong in saying that your social spaces have been fucking toxic as sin. That all
Yes.
those people that you otherwise like
They
have found themselves caught up feeling like you're in a hostage situation to comment on every fucking discourse that rolls around.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Sockdone Left asks, I'm about 10 minutes behind stream. What culture shifts do you think that pundits can encourage to yield slower conversations with greater contextualization? We have to fight against the drama cycle,
Yeah.
which means content creators themselves have to be willing to take a deeper look, to react more slowly, to take their time, and to ask themselves when they're about to engage, especially, I would say this is especially true, when you are engaging with somebody who might be on your side, take the time to figure out the context and ask yourself, is this person a terrible person? Is this person somebody who I just disagree with? Is this somebody who I could perhaps have a conversation with? And secondly, I think that pundits need to start building actual social connections with one another.
Yeah. Well, this is why I'm playing all those horrible 8-bit games that Chud Logic does not recognize. But yeah, of course. We have our games, we have our art, we have our passions that we can share with one another. I'm actually building a game on stream in the RPG Maker. And you can help me as well. You know? We have a lot of things that we can do together, that we can build together. You know? There's a richness of things that we want to do together. You know? To feel better together. Of course, just because you disagree on lots of things here doesn't mean you can make progress together. Yeah, exactly.
They need to start collaborating on projects more often, on projects that are positive.
Yes.
You want to know what was one of the most inspiring things I've done? The fundraiser that I did with President Sunday, which, if you'll recall, actually had a lot of fun drama in it.
Yeah.
Fun drama that didn't end in any result in any burning bridges.
I was actually, well, yeah, that fundraiser had an air of positivity and excitement about it. That was a really special day. Really special 12 hours.
No bridges were burned. There was conflict, even between people who don't like each other. But what came out of that event was a positive outcome and strengthened social connections.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
A couple of months ago, it was like, I think it was around Christmas time. No, actually, I think it was literally that stream. It was literally that fundraiser stream. At the end of the stream, President Sunday, Vosh, Doe, and Chariot, and I think Lucy,
I've been
Ducky
there.
Lucy Hayes, were all just hanging out in a chat, laughing their asses off. And I have a feeling that all of them walked away from that feeling better, and that all of the people who saw that, some of you might have even seen that, probably had a really fucking good time.
Yeah.
And that is building actual social connections.
And it helped my mom as well.
Pundits
In a real way.
and streamers can lead by example,
That's right.
building coalitions. And that doesn't mean not fucking, that doesn't mean not, like, you have to agree with everybody or you have to hug everybody you don't like. It's more about choosing your battles more wisely. It's
Yeah.
more about taking the time
I
to
think
get
so.
context, taking the time to try and understand where people that you otherwise wouldn't understand are coming from, and sometimes choosing not to make drama out of everything, even if your opponents are doing that. I think sometimes that the mentality that all drama must be covered, all drama must be responded
Yeah.
to, actually leads to worse outcomes for all parties involved. Some dramas
Yeah.
are better off ignored.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. Not all drama needs to be covered, yeah. Which is why I don't really cover all drama.
Killjoy says, I think it's important to learn what's an entropic argument, which is just one that's there to drain your energy and frustrate you, and also what is actual activism. You know, we're all entertainers in this space.
I'm an
We do some
entertainer.
activism as well. But we could all learn we could all benefit from learning how to do a little bit more of the entertainment.
True.
And I think that we would have more opportunities to do actual activism. And we'd have a whole lot more original content too.
Which is why I hope you will stay for the video
Skunksy
game
says, can you
part.
be specific? No, I don't have any desire to be specific, because it applies to basically, what I'm saying here applies to basically every single fucking drama that's unfolded in recent memory.
Yeah.
Most of the actors that you are all angry at, with very few exceptions, probably didn't do anything that was as bad as you thought it was, or that you say it is.
That's fair.
And additionally, furthermore, a lot of the people that you support have also been behaving like assholes. I want you all to think about this. I want you to have doubts about the way that you've been behaving, because I think
am
now is
having
the time for people to have a little bit of a fucking crisis and go, have I really been behaving good? Or
Yeah.
have I been unintentionally participating in toxic cycles?
That's a good question.
Everybody's got to make a living, okay?
I have
But
to make a living.
But like, you don't win. I don't know. Maybe at the end of the day, I have too much hope for people. I've
have
considered
hope.
that many times. I am not an optimist
I'm
all
an
of the time,
optimist all of the time.
or most of the time even. And I know that there's a lot of people. Self-interest is always going to be important, and most people here are here because it's their work, it's their craft, it's the thing that makes them money.
Yeah.
But like, drama farming becomes incestuous. It has it makes you money in the short term, and it kills everything positive in the long term.
True.
And
I agree,
what it does is
100%.
it eventually requires people to derange themselves. They have to invent drama where there isn't drama. They have to turn small
Yeah.
things. They have to turn molehills into mountains.
Yeah. True.
Annie Gal says, isn't that contradictory? Wouldn't you say that some of the people we hate didn't act that bad, and the people that we support are acting like assholes does not work when you're trying to appeal to all sides of the conflict? I don't know. Think that through again. I think that people have been more than willing to forgive the people that they already like, and have been more than willing to jump to conclusions with the people that they already don't like.
Right.
And I don't, like I
sense.
said, I don't expect everybody to I don't expect everybody to hug and kiss. I don't expect everybody to fucking like everybody else. I don't believe in that. I don't think that that can happen. But I'd like to think that we can choose our battles a little bit better. That we can choose our battles collectively a little bit fucking smarter.
I am a deeply hopeful person, and I believe in turning hope to reality. You know, there's a lot of optimism in me.
And if we are gonna fight, make it fucking a fight that makes sense. Like for
I believe I can fix my teeth and transition.
example, somebody that you don't like supports a hashtag that you don't 100% agree with. Is that person the same thing as a Nazi now? Is that person like a fascist or whatever now?
No.
Or maybe they just have a different opinion on that hashtag.
Yeah.
Is it really fucking worth like jumping to just unfucking believable levels? Like, I mean, I'm not kidding you guys. Like, I've seen some of the most ridiculous shit being peddled about people for the most inconsequential disagreements. I've seen huge content creators in recent days turn a nothing disagreement into a fucking explosion. And I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah. Same.
Thank you for the ban. Appreciate that. Leftist Cov 22. I'll be smoking that Demon Mama pack. Can't wait for you to be removed from the internet. You are just a fascist now. It's literally that simple, as are all of you in the audience. Obviously a troll.
I see.
Metal Murphy says, something to raise your spirits. You recently helped a friend of mine raise enough money to make the move to her new home. We successfully did so this past Friday, thanks to you and this community. Imps, you hear that shit? You hear that shit? We helped somebody's life get better.
Yeah.
That's what these communities can do.
Yeah.
It's not all about that. I'm not trying to say you need to do a charity drive every single stream. I'm not even saying that it's about charity. I'm just saying that these spaces can be fucking
help
cool.
one another.
They can make you feel better if we make that decision.
Yeah.
If we choose to
preach,
listen for the motherfucking signal. If we filter out the motherfucking noise. Not telling people not to fight. I'm not telling people not to disagree with each other. I'm telling people to fucking take a deep breath and touch some motherfucking grass. And I mean that in the mental and spiritual sense, okay? Take a breath, think about the things that you're gonna engage in and if they're worth engaging in. God knows I've put so many fucking things aside.
Exactly, this is the perfect energy. And we need to be a part of it. Yeah. I like this energy.
It sounds like you're talking about people gaining levels of maturity. Well, it's hard to say that because while there are a lot of young people on the left, young people have to learn from other people around them. They learn from their peers, but they also learn from people who aren't young anymore.
Yeah.
And it's important that people are actually able to build relationships of example, that people are able to build relationships of like mentorship, and that people are, more importantly, just able to build actual social connections altogether. And that's what I want to encourage my viewers. I have 700 people, over 700 people watching right now. Hell, we have like almost 800 people watching.
16 people watching.
We have almost 800 people watching right now. Build social connections.
Yeah.
Make a real effort to build social connections, not parasocial connections.
Hello, Hug
Connect with the people in these audiences. Enjoy this content, of course. I'm a streamer. I'm not going to tell you not to have fun. I fucking love streaming. I love watching other people's streams.
As well.
But we gotta we have to be having an okay time. We have to stop whatever this fucking horrible nightmare that we found ourselves wrapped up in on certain sites.
Positive
we have to fix it. It's not tenable.
True.
So I'm encouraging all of you who are listening now to make a serious effort. Look for the context. Build a little bit in of a margin of error for other people to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
And also, build actual social connections with one another.
True.
Social media, but specifically Twitter, is a place of unfathomably shallow connections. The connections that people make on Twitter most of the time they disappear within minutes. You probably can't even remember all of the conversations that you've had in the last couple of days on Twitter. If you're involved in discourse, you don't even remember the people you were engaging with. Stop them. Take that energy and put it into having a real conversation or sharing some memes or laughing or looking at some art and talking about it with people that you actually have some kind of connection with. And if you don't have people that you have a connection with, seek them out. Everybody knows my Discord is one of the fucking coziest places on the planet, and I'm not the only person who hosts a Discord. Discord.gg/DemonMama. People have been chatting like crazy in there. It's like bumping every single day. And mine isn't the only one.
I'd like to believe that the giggle card is nice as well.
Discord is mid. Nuts, you are a absolutely miserable wretch, and we love you, but let's be real. Whatever you have to say about connecting socially is probably people should do the opposite.
My gosh. Nuts has been roasted. Well.
I'm a bully? To you? Yes.
Bully.
I feel like such a boomer for not really getting Discord. It's just a popular place to connect with people. It's a bunch of chat rooms. A server is a collection of chat rooms, and some servers have overlap with other servers. Some of them don't. But you just go into the server and you pick the place that's most interesting to you. And unfortunately, like all technology, there's a bit of a learning curve. But once you learn it, there's a lot of great stuff to have.
True.
Oh my God, it's just game facts. It's a series of tubes, that's all. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Spooky Star says, to be honest, in my experience, it's garbage literally everywhere that leftists can congregate online. I don't use Twitter, and I have been completely fucked by this on other platforms. Doesn't that just tell you that we need to try even harder?
Yeah, we do.
Doesn't that tell you that this prolongated fucking funeral sermon that I'm giving is even more important than ever?
True.
If lefty spaces online suck, whose fault is it?
It's my fault. I made them suck.
We're the ones who make these spaces.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to be the ones who say, maybe
Join the giggle card, Jessica. Do it.
I'm gonna hold my tongue a little bit. Maybe I'm gonna take a fucking chill pill for a minute. Maybe I'm gonna take a breather.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I wanna take a chill pill.
That's fantastic. I have to save that. Thank you very, very much. That's absolutely fantastic. I need to cut this out and use this. in one of those thumbs up memes.
Don't fight grass. This is not like Ultima.
I do think that in recent memory, a lot of very influential content creators have sort of given in to their worst impulses with regards to drama.
Yeah.
And I don't entirely blame them. I get it. Conflicts are tempting. And especially when you're fucking mad and you want to get into a fight with somebody. But, and sometimes that fight is totally justified. I'm never going to say that nobody has a right to get in a fucking conflict with somebody else. God knows. I don't think that, like, I am like the anti-centralist. I'm the anti, like, everybody needs to follow the same rules. I don't believe that at all. I don't want to repeat myself too much. I just think that it's time that we fucking reanalyze how we're choosing our battles.
True. That's true.
Yeah?
This is why I did the whole disengagement at the end, right? That we're not really gonna continue to cover Chud Logic moving forward.
People should smoke more weed? Yeah. Maybe.
Of course, if he wants to talk, then I'm not gonna exactly reject that offer either.
There are so many really good people in these spaces, okay?
Right.
There's a lot of people I don't like, but there's also a lot of really fucking good people. There's a lot of people who are just really fucking good. And that doesn't mean they don't make mistakes, but mistakes aren't the fucking same thing as being a bad person.
All of the mistakes.
People should metaphorically smoke more weed. There we go.
What? Now I'm watching a Vine. Okay. I guess we can finish this up here. Although, maybe we can watch some more.
And at least for me, I've been making an effort for a long time to spend my energy here on YouTube, where I can do stuff like this, where I can have long form discussions with my community. I've been making an effort to post on my Mastodon, where I can sort of share my thoughts, which, you know, you can find me at masto.anarch.cc/DemonMama.
Not the same thing.
That's where you can find me. I'm over there.
Hello,
I post long form thoughts over there, and soon I'm going to be running my own little blog, which just will give you guys more stuff to read and talk about.
I need to get more into stuff. I've got plans.
But to end this all up, to wrap this up, because I've been rambling for a long time, and I want to make sure that this lands home. The current state of the Twitter left is it's death. It's done. It's over with. Whatever we decide to build going forward is going to be something new. And I want to encourage us to build something that doesn't fall into the same traps, that doesn't fall into the content-brained, conflict-driven focus, that instead, if nothing else, at least that we can have a good time.
Who is Suris? Titan, who is Suris?
Let's fucking roast some conservatives, for fuck's sake.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with older people mingling with the younger people, to be honest. But I don't know who Suris is.
God knows there's enough of them. God knows there's enough of these motherfuckers saying heinous bullshit. Let's fucking roast those assholes. Those guys really have some problems. So everyone, let the vultures eat. They're eating for sure. I can say that much for sure. Yeah. The vultures are having their fill of the rotten and stinky flesh of the Twitter left. Let's take all that energy that we wasted being miserable on that shithole site. Let's stop letting it flood out into our other spaces. Let's say goodbye to this fucking bullshit. And let's build something new from here, okay? Sound fucking good? Does that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds wonderful indeed. Sounds wonderful, in fact.
And it wouldn't be fair if I didn't wrap this up with something a little more final. So,
Wow.
real quick. Yes. Let's have less of this, okay? Let's have less of this, all right? Let's have less of this. Everyone, please join me in a
Bambi,
momentary
oh no.
salute. The
Bambi's
Twitter
mother.
left did its best, and now it is a stinky, rotten, bloated corpse being eaten by vultures and maggots. Let us all send it off with a small drop of honor together.
On the edge
Damn.
of the crater, like the prophets once said, and the ashes are all cold now. No more bullets, and the embers are dead. Whispers in the air
Wow.
tell the tales
Yeah, she is great.
the brothers gone.
She is great.
Devastation. What a mess we made.
What a mess we made.
What a mess
It
we
all went wrong.
Watching
My gosh.
from
I salute with my VTuber hand.
the circus.
I drink Pepsi
To
now.
begin,
Yeah.
gladiators
Gladiator.
draw their swords from their ranks for Armageddon. I'm nuclear, I'm wild, I'm breaking up inside.
Yeah. Amazing song.
A heart of broken glass, deep found, deep inside the abandoned child, standing on the edge of the unknown, looking at the abyss. And I'm hoping for some miracle to break out, to escape from all this. Whispers in the air tell the tale of a life that's gone. Desolation,
Nice.
devastation. What a mess we made when it all went wrong. I'm nuclear.
Wonderful. We appreciate you, Titan. We appreciate you.
Inside a heart of broken glass, deep found, deep inside the abandoned
This is beautiful. This is why I will in a moment. I will share my pity links with you. One moment. Pity link number 1.
Deep inside the abandoned
Rest in peace. And may what comes be more fucking poggers than ever.
True.
Yeah? Also, don't forget to press like if you're fucking hearing the signal, baby!
True.
If you are hearing the signal and
Press
you're ready
like.
for something fucking new.
Press
Because
like.
I got stuff for you. I got
Yeah.
stuff for you.
Exactly, I do have stuff for you. I've got a lot of stuff. More stuff than ever stuff has ever been stuff before. It's true. It's
I
true.
bet you didn't expect that. I bet you didn't expect that after the funeral, there would
True.
be an after party. But let me tell you, do I have something special for
It's
all
true.
of you? Because see, we're entering truly a new arc, okay?
Yeah. And the new arc is me going to the toilet and then us playing a special video game together. Okay? Us playing a special video game to rest from the dramas, to rest from the Twitters, to rest from the Chud Logics, because we've done a deep dive into Chud Logic. And also, we have hit 600 subscribers, which means I will have to do something special. And that special thing will be me starting the Potter Game fundraiser officially, I think tomorrow or something. So yes, I will now go to the toilet. In the meantime, please enjoy this little animation that I have made and some beautiful music, okay? I will play some music for you as you will listen to the music as I go to the toilet, and then let's go and, there we go. if you like the animation that you can see on the screen, then be sure to be here on Wednesday, because on Wednesday we do the stream fully dedicated to creating art and fulfilling commissions. It's not it this is actually an official track from the Black Mages, and one of the people playing is Nobuo Uematsu himself. You know? Yeah. It's a PlayStation. I do really like that. Yeah. The music you've just heard was from the Black Mages. So it's like an official band for the Final Fantasy music. We love Final Fantasy Tactics, don't we? I'm just waiting for someone to call it like some unknown 8-bit game. You are playing the original, not the PSP. Two years old. Guardian. The Queen's older brother Lark. It is amazing. Supported Prince Lark. We support no one. Not left, not right, only forward. We support no one. Let's see if we can wait for some other nice starting screen. You should see something else now, like job introduction. Don't worry, I'm not wasting time. This will be worth it. This will be worth it. This will be worth the wait. This will be worth the wait. Look at this. It'll describe the jobs, and I will read the job descriptions aloud. Let's go. Let's go. Oh wait, no. Another Final Fantasy. Oh God, please save us, thy sinful trinity of Iblis. The Lion War. Is the truth only what we can see? Blame yourself, our God. Remember how Father taught us to play that red flute? Where did we go astray? Final Fantasy Tactics. A really cinematic game. But yeah, let's play. Let's play. I think I've done some extra quests, right? Let's go. Ready for play. Dragoon. Mage. We are ready to play. Golan Coal City. The music is beautiful in this game as well. The story is amazing. Where? Where did he run? Aurora, up there on the roof. Surrounded. I don't know who you are. Too bad you stumbled on us. Next time, put a sign outside saying Thieves Hideout. Yeah, damn blabbermouth. Now give yourself up. Something's weird is going on in here. We have many visitors today. Let's get them all together. And now we will defeat our enemies mercilessly. What? Oh no. Yeah. We should play together. I love Final Fantasy XIV. Auto potion for the win. Don't skip the story. Do not skip the story. Whatever you do, do not skip. The story is the best thing about the game. Promise me. Promise me. Promise, please, and thank you. Yeah, do not. Very nice, thank you. Thank you. Galaxies. Oh gosh. Missed. Missed. Oh no. I will. Maybe even on stream. Also, it's not remake part 2, it's rebirth. The remake was a misdirection. It's not a remake, it's a sequel. Yeah, that's correct. It did make a complete 180. Correct. They've changed the director to a person that really cares. You know? It's a sequel, not a remake. It's the- Galaxy stop. This is not a difficult level. Yeah. And for the original, you can watch my streams when I played it. It does, doesn't it? I should get a PlayStation 5 for the FF16. But I cannot afford it. Yeah. FF is really good, isn't it? What is your job? What is your job? Astrologist! Or astrologian, as they say. Final Fantasy 14. was afraid that would happen. I was afraid this would happen. But it's still pretty easy. Yeah, I saw. I mean, Naoki Yoshida is taking care of Final Fantasy 16, so I myself am pretty excited for it, I have to admit. Naoki Yoshida has done a wonderful job with Final Fantasy 14, so I trust. I've got a lot of trust. You know? The development went smoothly because Yoshipi is in charge of it. So that does not surprise me. Wow, nice. What a game to start on, Final Fantasy 16. Very nice. Exciting, isn't it? Finally a good Final Fantasy game. That we can be excited about. I think Naoki Yoshida is the best thing that has happened to Square in a long time. You know? And I unironically think that Naoki Yoshida is keeping Square Enix afloat. You know? Starfire, awake and deliver your judgment. Fire 3. After playing the original Final Fantasy VII again, I think I might just rage at Final Fantasy Remake when we played on stream, you know? I might complain a lot. So please be patient with me. You know? Because Final Fantasy VII Remake had horrible story. I'm sorry. It's unavoidable to point that out. The story of Final Fantasy Remake was not good. Are you alright? Thank you for saving me. My name's Olan Durai. What's yours? Hamza Wolf. Is something wrong? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Where are you going anyway? To Lesalia. If you're going that way, we could go along. Too bad, I'm going to the other way. Thanks for the offer. Well, be careful. You too. I'll see you later. Stay alive till then. We will play Final Fantasy 13. So much they did with 7 Remake undermines what made the story of the original amazing. Right? I know, right? Oh yeah. It's true. But the gameplay is really good. Yeah. Here we go. Very nice. Answer. Black Maid Wizard. Oh, wait. Ability learn. Square. Alright. Let's check the offers. There. No offers. There. Oh. Do you want to compete with the best? Zaland will be sponsoring the Zaland Martial Arts Contest. We are looking for participants. Yeah. As always, Lavian, Alicia, and Kasha. Yeah, it's me. Start. 16 days. Is there anything here? Lion Castle, Western City. Oh. Okay, let's fight. Let's fight it out. Holy night. Let's go. Let's see what music we will get. Okay. I accept this outcome. This game is actually not that easy, you know? And there's a patch that makes it even easier, more difficult. Not easier, more difficult. There's a rebalance patch. I'm not whispering. I'm not whispering. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not whispering? What? I'm not. Oh my gosh. I'm not whispering. I'm training my voice. Is the game too loud? Is the... Is the game being too loud? There we go. What about now? What about now? Is it better? Holy sword. A devil's spirit of restlessness, split punch. Yeah. There. Acreos. That's better? Alright. Oh, we're gonna get them with fire. Burn. Look at this. Now we're getting them. Fire 3. Uh-oh. I fueled the enemy. That's not good. Oh no. can't believe I've healed the enemy. I don't feel good about what I've done. Damn. Oh no. Not equipped change. Holy Sword. There we go. Jump. That was a bit sad. Okay, let's go. Swirling bolts gather and strike with power. Bolts 2. Bolts 2. there's something going on right now. Apparently there's something really bad going on right now. Have to check it out. I don't have enough. There we go. Bang. We've done it. $21,000. That's better. Let's go. Let me see what's happening.
Colleges. If we want to make it so that they're
Well, there you go. So I think we will. We might go to sleep now. I'm getting a bit tired, and I think I will prepare for tomorrow. What do you think? Do we continue some more, or should I sleep? What do you think? Do you believe I should? Sleep or no? Yeah, I should sleep. Okay, we'll save that. And then I sleep, I prepare for tomorrow. Thank you for coming today. We've actually had a lot of people watching today, and thank you very much. And we will. I hope you can join me possibly tomorrow for when we will stream for fundraising. What do you think? Ah, have a wonderful surgery. Love and solidarity. Say press and stream.